Okay, so the title of this video is I woke up like this, and as I'm wiping any type of like, eye movies out of my eyes, I literally woke up like this. Like not even fresh, not even did my eyebrows or anything. Or my lips or anything, like literally. I woke up like this. And it's crazy on how people like really try to do the most in order to try to make me feel like I'm ugly when literally because from like your stalking perspective and stalking angles, that's like, that's just optical illusions. Because here I am. I still look pretty damn good, I think. And you guys have been stalking me, so you actually know my layout. So yeah, I didn't fluff or anything. This is how I look. And for a lot of you bitches, like, I look pretty damn good. Even though you guys trying to like hate me like a motherfucker. And I know you guys are gonna definitely try to go into your like your little skincare regimens and be like, okay, well, we want to compete in things of that nature. And it's just, so fucking pathetic because I didn't ask for that. You guys literally do the most in order to try to compete with me or try to make shit a competition or just exist. Just that women can't coexist for shit. You guys try to make everything a problem. This is why, and men can't exist. That's why men have wars all the time. In fact, I feel like, a lot of shit was just about countries just wanting to, start a ruckus for the fuck of it. Because, like I said this in a video a long, 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 long time ago. Not too long, but long enough. Where it was just like, why is one country trying to claim dominion over another? Like that shit should have been like, established before, we had like the revised map, basically. basically. The map is what it is for what it is. The only reason why you should be able to try to change anything as far as like authority and anything is for to release yourself from a very archaic capitalistic, I guess, government. Like I think when Barbados had to claim themselves independent um, from Britain, from the United Kingdom, like under those circumstances, I understand. But when it comes to a neighboring country or a country period trying to claim themselves as trying to claim dominion or power over another country, I think that's just total bullshit. I think that's crazy. I was just like, what made you get out of bed and choose violence on those terms? Like that's just so fucking stupid. People claim territory. Don't get me wrong. People claim territory when it comes to more on a more smaller scale. When it comes to like drug cartel and mostly in its entirety is either like drug cartel, not in its entirety, excuse me, drug cartel and gentrification. Let's call it what it is. Because this is like, how are you able to try to like upend people from their homes and displace people in their homes? Like I can understand if it was like a completely violent and this an unruly area, and you wanted to make it better because you wanted to try to bring it more to like a civilized condition. But even then, you can't. There should be a way for you to still preserve the culture and preserve like the people who actually want to be there, the people who want to make the neighborhood nice. Because at the very end of the day, this is what and even in nicer neighborhoods, they have that whole what is it called? That thing that's like that low income level where they allow people from low incomes, from places that probably would be like the hood and the ghetto and things of that nature, to come into the nicer neighborhoods or like the newly built buildings to live there. And it'll be like rent control or rent established areas in nice neighborhoods. So it's always a catch-22, but and most of the times in gentrified areas, it's just like it's like a modernized kind of sees its property, sees its land, sees its community, and we're booting you guys out. We're gonna make you our. It's like we're not gonna make you our slaves per se, unless you want to work at our Starbucks chain or whatever kind of area that we decide to, whatever kind of business that we decide to build here. But we will take this land from you and make you and force you to move somewhere else because we'll either raise the taxes, we'll make up fines in order to create problems for you, and do a whole bunch of shiesty shit that will make it just, because it's the rules, it's the law, it's the land, it's what, that's what we do as far as, people in power. And I can't always say white people, although at the very end of the day, um, because black people take advantage of this part too. Let's just call what it is. Let's just call what it is. Speaking of which, yeah. So that's my thing with that's where I want to start. Talking about situations, mostly about me waking up like this. So I don't give a fuck about what little comments that you want to say that are superficial about me, because the only things that you can try to talk that will try to hit something is if you talk about like my status on like what it is I'm doing that you haven't interfered with. But the thing is that you've interfered with a lot, if not everything. Actually, you've tried to interfere with literally everything. So therefore, you have nothing to talk about. You have nothing to talk about. I don't care about what it is that you say about me superficially, because one, you're saying it behind my back. Two, you either have to pay somebody to try to triangulate the information, because again, you're a coward, so you have to say it behind my back. Thirdly, that's not my main concern. I mean, obviously, I woke up being more beautiful than the person who you're trying to kiss ass to, and without having to get any surgery or anything like that. And it really bothers them. So that's another reason why I want to do this fucking video, because, like, bitch, at the very end of the day, through all the superficial shit that you want to talk about, like, I win. Okay? You had to really fucking do the most in order to, like, you guys are really in your fucking feelings, and you'd be like, no, like, you're so much more beautiful, and it's damn sure a fucking lie. It's damn sure a fucking cat. And you try to, and just like, oh, like, I may have said at one point, like, oh, you're pretty, yeah, but I'm precious. Okay, like, it would never have been in a moment where I thought that you were ever better than me, and you were the one that tried to make shit competition. So again, whether you try to, like, try to fuck up my beauty or anything like that, at the very end of the day, it's like I exude more beauty than you ever will, even on your best day, because you tried to do the most, and I'm only just showing you exactly how that was one of your greatest mistakes. So yeah, go ahead and talk about me, talk about anything superficial, because I mean, that's the best you can do. That, and also lie. Anyway, hold on. Okay, so this video is mostly about, I woke up also to this bullshit. People are so upset about my video last night that they just started going for superficial shit. They also go for things that, um, that they've participated in. So say that you knock somebody down, and you start laughing at them because they're dirty, because they fell into the ground. Obviously, if you knock somebody down and you just start laughing, like, it's the cliche, bullying thing. But anybody who's gonna laugh at that exposes themselves. So if you're gonna laugh at me having to talk for an extensive long period of time, and you're gonna talk about a lot of superficial shit that obviously that you see, or worse, that you see and you omit information. You're omitting the information where you guys have poisoned me, where a lot of my speech has been affected by your abuse. So, I'm slowly but surely, trying to combat that. But you are only doing nothing but exposing, yourselves and your abusive ways, your incompetence, your lack of comprehension, and your insecurity. Your insecurity for fucking coming with me, like with this bullshit in the first place. Your inability to acknowledge your own faults. Because again, every single fucking day you come to me to either utilize my information in order to capitalize off of it. Or you come to me, as a fucking, you use me basically as a crutch in order to live because you can't exist. You can't even coexist. You come to me because you need to feel secure about yourself in some type of way. It's like whatever it is that I am, it's just like you try to force yourself in order to be better than. So again, I am your crutch. I am your crutch. You are insignificant. You are the thing is definitely, I am the measure to which you feel like you have to try to compete with. I'm for both. I'm for fucking both. You're so fucking worthless. And it's just like, I would, I felt a lot better by just saying like, yo, you're worthless and you're valueless. But you guys were just thinking I was just saying shit to say shit. And like, I've never done that before. I don't do that. I don't like to do that. Why would I do that? So now I've exemplified in some reasons on as to why I've come up with that, why I've come up with those conclusions based on who you are as a human being, based on your behaviors, and based on what you look like. And that's just some of it. I'm not going to tell you all of it because just know that I know what you know inside that you choose not to look in the mirror to. And I don't want to fix you. I don't want anything to fucking do with you. So yeah, it says you are letting too many things in. Okay, hold on here. So yeah, I woke up to some bullshit because okay, supposedly it's not for you. No, it's not to you. It's for you. Yeah, it's not. I care less about the religious manipulation because I know that's religious manipulation. Like I know that there are words that are used in order to excrete um, praise and money from people and for them to be of service and use to whomever is trying to usher, almost not usher, I was gonna say usher those words or like usher that kind of manipulative bullshit. So like I've seen it. Remember, I was raised in a religious household. My grandmother wasn't on that shit, but she definitely like listened to we watched part of it. Like we went to church. Oh my gosh, we went to church. See, look, I have fluffies. Thank you, fluffies. I was holding the cat earlier. Um, my cat, not my cat. I was raised in a very religious environment, so in different ones. So I am I am familiar with the jargon, the phrases, and all the other kind of shit that's used. Thankfully, my grandmother wasn't with that bullshit, but she did still like Jesus. She did still like God, and it was just like So we would listen to more of like the gospel music and Bobby Jones and watch Bobby Jones, things of that nature. We would have like the Sunday moments where we would have listen to some type of church stuff, but it was mostly music. So because a lot of the rhetoric that was practiced, no, not practiced, but there were a lot of the rhetoric and bullshit like that was just used in order to sway people to some immoral acts. By that I mean like it's just like you're really it seemed counterproductive to use a lot of the words and then uh, if a pastor was over here really looking into your life because well not through surveillance but if a pastor is really looking into your life because he is a messy ass bitch, he's gossiping and whatnot like that with all the clergymen and his wife the first lady and she's gossiping with everybody that's in the in the pulpit, excuse me. And then he goes ahead and regurgitates that information and tries to make it like a religious lesson. But more so, he's also harshly, seriously judging you. And I didn't like that because I caught I caught a lot of shit. But I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't so and so say that about their life? Or um isn't that what's all right, so if there's a pastor that literally hears something about Sister Mary and her husband and they have like some problems with it, something like that, like they will literally go about saying it in a passive aggressive way in order for you to try to like, change your life and make it to be a lesson for the entire fucking church. And I'm just like, okay, okay. It's bad enough that that's what happens. And well actually this is the thing. They do this in families, but not in order to really change the family. Just so, it's like, oh, keep it in the family where there's like a lot of fucked up situations that are going on, and you don't want it to be like let out. And then yet the practice still happens in the fucking church where you're letting everybody know your fucking business, and people, but you don't say is this relationship. You just say, oh, if you're a husband doing this or you're a wife doing that, then you should be doing this because you guys have confided in your pastor privately. And then he happens to talk about it on Wednesday or no, on Sunday service. You talk about you confided in your pastor on Tuesday, and then the nigga talks about it on Sunday service passive aggressively. Because you just might not be the only couple having a problem. So he happens to talk about it to everybody just in case, it's going to resonate. And if it resonates, it's for an exploitative reason. It's not really for your benefit. It's not really to actually help you. He wants the content in order to help himself. He wants the content in order to kind of attract other people and be like, wow, like, yo, he's really speaking. And the couple is like sweating bricks, or no, sweating bullets because like they are mortified, and it's crazy. Sometimes I have literally seen a pastor talk about, like, literally name and point out somebody within his clergymen. um that's so fucked up. So there's like a lady, there was like a runner-up lady pastor. There was a guy pastor who was, head of the church, but then I guess there was like the lady, assistant pastor or something like that. Like she wanted to be like the fill-in whenever like the other pastor wanted to be gone. Not be gone, but like take a vacation or something like that, or just like talk in general. And I guess he felt some type of way because back in the day, like she was a stripper and she had worn, and sometimes she had still worn. I guess she couldn't afford it, but she is still worn like the platform shoes and things of that nature, like the shiny shoes. So, bro, he said her name. He didn't even say anything passive aggressive because I guess like it was a small church, small enough church. Because again, I was going to when I was an adult. Well, I am an adult, but it was just like I was going to different churches so that way I can find like a home of my own, a new church of my own that I can join. And I was just like, oh, definitely not this one, because it was so messy. It was so fucking messy. It was like, kind of putting your business out there, and he was talking about like, her downfalls. And I'm pretty sure, and the way how she was holding a face, of like strength as he was just like really going through it. Cause I'm pretty sure, well, I'm hoping that he had asked her permission, but it didn't seem like, she was ready for exactly what he was going to say. It was probably like, hey, look, like, would you mind if I happen to discuss about, what you had survived or what you had, went through? And she was probably like, okay, yeah, like, like she probably trusted him to say something that was just going to be a blip in the Sunday message. But no, he went ham on her. Like, and you could tell by like the way how her face went straight, and the way how her face went straight, and then she just kind of put on like, a brave face. And I think one of the thing that nailed it in the coffin was that she didn't show up the next Sunday. And the following Sunday, said that she was sick. 3 Sundays, actually. 3 Sundays. She snuck in on a mid Wednesday Bible study. Like he really like put it in. Like he really just that's just like so fucked up. As I said, like I was just like, okay, well, clearly I'm not for this. I mean, like, thankfully, I was living on the straight and narrow to the point. I mean, anything that I needed to share, you guys are already can find out on my fucking channel. But it was just like that. It wasn't anything for me to like try to run away with or like try to be, be embarrassed about. It's just, I was like, God damn, like I don't like it on behalf of like back in the day I was more empathetic. So it was just like, okay, that really hurts. I think that should hurt a lot of people, if not everybody in the fucking church. That's like bringing up some bullshit, whether it's true or not, about like one of your family members during a holiday gathering. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Why the fuck do you do that? Like, you're not, even if you were a licensed fucking medical professional, why the fuck would you need to do that in front of everybody? That's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. I was like, no, can't. I can't do it. So yeah, this is where you fall in for, your messy ass, for your messy ass ways. Again, I woke up to some bullshit and it says this woman was trying to passively preach about what it is that I should try to do with my life. Because apparently the whole it's not for you. No, it's not to you, it's for you. It's for you, not to you. I decided to try to use that back at them, and they didn't like that, of course. Especially considering that that's some weak ass bullshit line to be using. Especially considering you guys have shown hypocritical ways where you've either fought back or something like that. Yeah, fought back or bitched and had somebody else try to save you. Drop billions of dollars into your account. Millions of dollars into your account. But anyway, what I am thank you. What I am saying is that you guys have used other sources in order to, well, other lines and other type of excuses in order to try to I guess victim blame me, but even that's not working. That's not working. Because again, you either omit information or you pretend like you have amnesia and forget the part where you guys have played either a role in this or you've been a hypocrite. So when you say like, it's for you, not to you, when you had the moment with George Floyd, you forget the parts when you decided to go ahead and do extensive things in order to find justice. You forget also about the dire, extreme circumstances that I've been placed in. You also forget the part where you still happen to talk about slavery and things of that nature and the conditions of the civil rights movement. In fact, you guys, I realize right now that like that's a trending keyword now. Civil rights. Apparently, you guys are using that a lot. It's just like, oh my God, like Shalise, yes, you're definitely hitting a point. I want to use that in my life. Look at us, look at us, look at us. And no, should try to silence me. Try to like, that's definitely going to be the keyword in order for you guys to try to like, flood the timelines on social media and commercially. For your own self-serving gain. Because you're just awful. You are. You're the one that's using me to help fight your own battles. But then you happen to say, for me, it's for me and not to me. Well, not in that case, it's for you and not to you if I happen to take the shit away. And that's why I create that information that this video, this upcoming video, not upcoming, but like the video that I'm planning to do, to just really put it in the focus point about how fucked up you guys are and how much of a mess you guys are in such a way that you can't utilize it for your own self. Yeah, I'm going there. Because no more speeches, no more No more a lot of that bullshit where you're over here trying to use my stuff. No, I just really want to see if I want you guys to see it for what it is. And it'll be like your constant reminder. In any way, in any way, shape, or form, you guys try to take this information, try to use it for yourself, you would be more than you would be not only just a fucking hypocrite, but you're just definitely, yeah, you would do nothing but just really showing yourself for the abuser that you are. Because I'm constructing this video to expose the black people, non-black people, and the white people that have really done the most in order to reinstitute modern slavery. So you wouldn't be doing anything but really exposing your ass because you've used my words and you've used my pain and my experience in order to try to capitalize off of it and in order to try to make yourself the victim. But you're the abuser. You're the fucking abuser. And it's even worse when that you're the abuser and you're trying to use my words in order to try to victimize yourself. It's actually pathetic. It's really extremely pathetic. Cowardice. But it is a booby trap I'm laying for you. Should you use it, that is the booby trap. All right. So anyway, this woman has said something about like from her book about like healing or something. Some book that she purchased about healing yourself. All right. Now I have to say the content about her, the content that she has going on, it's gaslighting, it's victim blaming, and it diminishes my experience, the things that I'm going through. It minimizes it because she's comparing it to basic people who are not in modern slavery. And I've already given examples in other videos. So it says, you're letting too many things in your environment control your life, is what this entrapment card is saying. You have drawn this card because it is time for a shift in personal power. You are encouraged to take responsibility for your life and choose new ways of thinking that create change. Actually, hold on. I don't want
to. Mind the business that pays you, okay?
And I find that that's so funny. And it's just like such a projecting comment. It's like, mind the business that pays you. Now, if you are a tabloid, the expression "mind the business that pays you" seems like a tabloid kind of situation because you have to be in people's business in order to make in order to make money. You are a gossip column. You are a nosy bitch. But we've seen many times when people have taken it too far to invade somebody's privacy in order to capitalize off it. So it shouldn't be about mind the business that pays you. It should be just mind your fucking business. It really should. It should be mind your fucking business. Because in a way where I can try to flip that. I'm like, well, it may not be paying me any money, any fiscal anything, but it would definitely pay me to know. It will pay me in an emotional way to address certain matters. Certain matters that definitely make me feel good. Having to put you guys in your place. So here we go. Like, you being messy and I'm having my boundaries. I'm enforcing my boundaries. That pays me peace of mind to know that I've literally called you out for what you are. And right now, so far, that's good enough for a start. The thing is that people try to talk to me as if I'm a fucking child. And the thing is just that even children nowadays are smart, too smart, to the point where you guys are like, wow, like, how do you know that? Or wow, that's crazy. That's how I used to be when I was a fucking child. And that's apparently how I still am today to a lot of people, which is why some people are fascinated by me. It's like, I know, I'm seeing you guys. You guys can make cards. Therefore, It's just like, I don't know who you guys think that you're fooling, but it's just like you guys can make cards. You guys like these little tarot cards and things of that nature. You guys make them. They didn't just fall out of the sky, okay? Jesus didn't bury them in fucking dirt. You feel me? Like these are actual things that you guys made on fucking Canva or some type of like design app and decided to sell these, including with the book, like the little legend, the map, the things that translate these cards, and it further explains exactly what it means. Therefore, nothing that you're saying is some type of like riveting, new, profound information that can actually benefit me. It's gaslighting material because you're saying something that obviously you are neglecting to mention. You're omitting information. It's the whole drink water kind of situation, knowing that the water is fucking poison. It's just like you're trying to say, like, hey, drink this water because you need it because you're dehydrated, but it's going to be more healthy for you. Yeah, but like we're in the middle of the fucking ocean. It's a salt water. If I drink it, I'm going to literally dehydrate even further. I'm gonna dehydrate even further and even possibly die. Eventually die and get sick off of it too. Like get sick, dehydrate more, get sick, and die. You can't drink like salt water. But the way how you bitches talk is just like you guys totally neglect that moment. You neglect that information because you are incompetent. And it's really dangerous and it shows a lack of responsibility. It shows incompetence on the government's level, on CIA, FBI. I would say more of the CIA. It's so crazy. Central Intelligence Agency. How fucking it's Federal Bureau of Investigations and Central Intelligence Agency. How smart or how stupid do you look by employing, not even employing, but bringing along a bunch of retards in the mix who are just throwing and projecting stupid ass shit with their own two eyes. It's like you're seeing with your own fucking two eyes what's going on, but you're equating that to 2 + 2 = 98, bitch. The fuck? How am I ever like, yo? I would never want to respect you, and I would never would want to respect the fucking nation when it comes to really showing your eyes as being dumb, stupid, dumb, stupid, like a box of rocks. You guys are as useless as like a vessel of it's just nothing. It's not. You guys are just as useless as a vessel of just flatulence that does not have enough methane in it to form a gas. Like you guys are just so fucking horrible. Nothing. All right, so yeah, it's crazy because it's just I wanted to just show you because it's a black woman. Okay, so it's just like okay, look, white people, we need to recoup. Our feelings are hurt. so so you send in the game where you wanted to go ahead and have black people try to speak up for you. So here we go.
Doing something for them. No. Don't do it.
It's like
what to say.
I just want to just
number 34. Where is it? There it is. It says you are letting too many things in your environment control your life. Is what this entrapment card is saying.
I'm not letting too many people or things in my environment. I've not only am I not explaining the personal things to you, which I have mentioned the other day, because you guys don't deserve it, and you've already expressed that I'm here to be utilized. I am a tool to you. It's like you guys don't have empathy or any other compassion. Therefore, any of the suggestions that you're trying to offer me is not showing me that you actually care for me. You only want what you want. This is a self-serving endeavor. This is not a transactional kind of situation because I'm not getting anything from it. This is only for you. Hence, modern slavery. Because I don't want to volunteer this information or this service to you. I don't want to volunteer this information or this service to you. Sorry, I have like I have a hair dye. Oh my goodness. No. Get rid of the crusty faces. It is like really crusty. Nice, nice. Get rid of the crustiness. Ooh, baby. Ooh, very cute. All right, anyway. Okay. So yeah, I don't let too many things in my environment. I've already told you that I'm not sharing anything with you guys because you're not pathetic. You're not even sympathetic. You guys want me to be utilized. You want to try to make yourselves look helpful when you're not helpful at all. You're useless. You must be useless in the family too, which is why you try to insert your opinions into like your teenage children's lives. We're trying to make it seem like you'll still need me after you graduate high school and things of that nature. And like you want to be that dependable person, and you want to try to still maintain rule over your child. So you do things, and in the meantime, when you're not around them, you get your fix by trying to control me, or trying to watch me, or trying to dominate your presence over me, while still neglecting exactly your toxic ways. How much of a minus you are, how much you are not wanted, and you are insignificant in a lot of people's lives, mainly me. Even though you could literally have a business for being a therapist and shit like that, though, but it's just like you're still a loser at the very end because you had to use somebody abused. Not just somebody abused, but just like somebody harmed and threatened. You had to use somebody who didn't have to be in here, that was unjust, to serve your endeavors. And it's not even for the greater fucking good. Because there are a lot of people that are harmed out there that you could actually benefit to actually help. But you rather put me in circumstances in order to gather information. That means that you didn't learn enough in school. That means that the school system or wherever you went to actually failed you. Means that you didn't do the footwork in order to learn about life that much, in order for you to go ahead and extract this information elsewhere independently. You were too fucking lazy. You were too fucking incompetent. Why would you think that you're a good fit or a good candidate to help others? You put on a good front for now, but you are very, very, very insignificant, because there are a lot of people that can obviously replace you, because they're also using me as a fucking battery. But you're using your methods of networking and whatnot like that in order to try to control your spot and your status to where you are. And I'm not even referring right now to my main abusers. I'm referring to the masses that are trying to use me in a capitalistic way in order to try to maintain any type of power or authority. So yeah, no, because what happened was just that I played her information and then had dictated it on my other laptop, and I'm just rereading. It's like you're letting too many things in your environment. No, not at all. It's going back into the very day when it's like to try to say that kind of shit is gaslighting. It's so fucking gaslighting. You're taking ownership. Look, slavery is a condition in which one human being was owned by another. A slave was considered by law as property or chattel and was deprived of most of the rights ordinarily held by free persons, by free people. Slavery typically involves compulsory work, with the slave's location of work and residence dictated by the party that holds them in bondage. Enslavement is the placement of a person into slavery. Slavery is a practice of forced labor and restricted liberty. It also is a regime where one class of people, the slave owners, could force another, the slaves, to work and limit their liberty. Throughout history, some forms of slavery existed as punishment for committing crimes or to pay off debts. Now, none of those have happened with me. There was no just cause in order for you guys to have done this to me. Now, especially when it comes to like paying off debts, because you guys were coming to me for money, but you guys wanted to try to belittle me. This is why this woman's information is going to be null and void, because I have done the footwork in order to make things happen for me. But you guys wanted to interfere with that. You guys continue to interfere with that, like the nothings that you are. So yeah, no, 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 no. So let's go out of. People were saying I'm talking too much about the past about slavery, but slavery still exists. Slavery still exists. It exists in my life. It exists. It exists also in the United States still. It's called human trafficking, child trafficking. Exists outside of the United States. Um, Under there, it's called slavery, and it's also called trafficking, like human trafficking, human sex, child trafficking, things of that nature. So, yeah, that's not talking about the past. You guys talk about the past more. How so? Because you are practicing an archaic situation that you could obviously let go of at any point in time, but you choose not to. Letting go of the past. To let go of the past means that you would have to let go of your your archaic racism, your archaic ways to try to dominate and control people. As that's been like a long-standing thing. That's the past. That's the past. You could have let go of that, but you choose not to. So again, projecting like a motherfucker, as per usual. Mm, okay, this is wild, bro. During the civil rights movement, okay. So, all right, let me just go back to the part where it says, it says you are letting too many things in your environment, which is obviously false. It's obviously false. Not only have I withheld, you know, being as kind and inviting to you guys, I said I was going to cut that off in half. But it's just like you guys are also at doing the most when it comes to neglecting the part where I didn't allow or invite you guys to be here to human traffic, like, the, let's say, human sex trafficking, which is basically, the form of what you guys are doing because you're selling my body and things of that nature online. You guys are abusers. Like every single fucking day, like you guys are abusers. So no, that's gaslighting. That right there is gaslighting. You're letting too many things in your environment control your life. Got it.
You have drawn this card because it is time for a shift in personal power. You are encouraged to take responsibility for your life and choose new ways of thinking that create change.
Time for a shift in personal power. You are encouraged to take responsibility for your life and choose new ways of thinking that create change. Oh, trust me, I have. I've seen the way how you guys respond to diplomacy. You guys got really pig-headed and started thinking like, oh, you can just do the most to me. In fact, you were trying to even do worse to me. So, yeah, and now you guys don't like the fact that about the methods that I'm choosing. Now, here's something that a lot of you people don't remember. Now, I remember this. I remember this. First, I want to show you this photo. I think this was this remind. Unfortunately, this reminds me of this photo that I've seen. This photo reminds me of the photo from Common music video. Not music video, album. I think it was called that. In fact, I think it was called that. Hold on, let's just see. Common's music. Common. Music album. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, they changed. They changed it. They changed it. They changed it. But I remember. I remember. Oh wow, they don't have. Okay. So they have this instead. They have this one instead where it's segregated. But I remember something that looked like the other one. I thought I could have sworn at this one. Maybe it's inside because I do have his 'cause I do have his album. It's about that life. This one right here. But this is just horrible. This right here is a girl literally running in fucking fear. And there's a guy who's been beaten. And they're running from cops. You can't really see it though, but they're running from cops. And the cop, one of them, this cop right here, is kind of grinning. He's like a little smiling. And the other ones are just like, this is ridiculous. A whole bunch of them with their with their um with their sticks. Horrible. Really willing to beat anybody, child, woman, anything. And in the midst of that, back in the day, this right here is showing a black guy hitting a black guy while a woman sits idly by. Do you know that present day, you niggas are literally doing this right here? Where you are conditioning yourselves to just not only participate in this abuse, but to just sit idly by and not say anything or just allow this shit to happen. This was a program. This was a program where black people were teaching black people because we had literally, this was like 1960s, 19, excuse me. Exact date. But anyway, this was in the 1900s, mid 1900s. So it's just like 1960s. Pardon me, it was 1960s. And so it's just like less than 100 years ago. So okay, this was in the 1960s. In the 1860s, we were free. Black African Americans were freed. African American slaves were freed. Or African slaves were freed. Within those hundreds of years, people were still trying to reinstitute slavery. People were still lynching. People were still harming and trying to carpetbag. Was it being fooled by carpetbaggers and trying to do like some type of form of like slavery again. It was so fucking crazy. They would like put people in fucking debts and then be like, okay, well now you have to pay this off. Like it's so wild. It was it was death, murder, duplicity, and just opportunistic reasons in order to try to harm black people again and try to keep slavery still fucking alive. Nonetheless, this right here was a program in order to try to keep black people compliant and docile. Because back then in slavery, you were getting beaten on, you were getting chastised, you were treated like a fucking object, or at least your lineage. Basically, it doesn't matter. Look, you may over here and try to, want to hotep yourself and be like, well, then I was an enslaved then, having realized that not everybody was a fucking slave then, I was probably possibly, a slave owner. How does that make that shit any better, bitch? Because even then, after slavery was abolished, you were still lumped in with the rest of the black community and seen as inferior. So you can try to like, try to correct me all you want to, be like, well, actually, my father, he was a fucking slave owner, and you're black. It's like, who the fuck gives really a fuck at the very end of the day? And if anything, that's really fucked up. Unless you use it as a method, unless your family use it as a method in order to free other slaves. But slavery was slavery. You feel me? Like, being a slave owner is nothing to be proud about. You could have been like, yo, like instead you could have been like, yo, like my relatives owned land. They didn't have any slaves, but they had workers who volunteered to work. Well, not volunteered to work, but like that's because that's not believable. Who worked and were paid and were freed. They were all free. So don't ever say like, yo, oh yeah, like we were slave owners, and think that that's gonna get you some type of like fucking jeers and cheers, unless that person's racist. But yeah, back in the day, within those 100 years, because like you're still being fucking conditioned about slavery. You're still getting how how people talk about like how the full moon still is like you have the full moon starting on one day, but it's supposed to like the impact of the full moon is 2 days after, no 2 to 3 days after, and 2 to 3 days before. It's the same thing with slavery. It's the same thing with movements. Actually, things happen to like shake, or even if you consider it like an earthquake or something like that. There's an earthquake that'll happen. Excuse me. Um, there's an earthquake, a natural disaster that'll happen. Say that there's a tsunami coming to whatever type of location. Right before it is normally like some type of like earthquake or something like that. Sometimes people don't even notice it, but there'll be like something that'll shake. Excuse me. No, 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 no. If you have an earthquake, I'm on the right line. If you have an earthquake and the ground shakes, you know, the plates and stuff underneath shakes. That can cause a disruption throughout the land, throughout wherever the location is. And it can actually send water, like a tsunami, coming after you guys, crashing down. So you're seeing a shift, and you're seeing a change where the ground is shaking. And you're thinking like you're disgruntled, you are in fear, you're going through a lot of emotions right now. And then you see the tsunami coming, where it's really some fucking change. It's just like whether you want it to or not, shit's about to go down. And it's just like, do something about it, get out the way, adjust something. And then all of a sudden the water comes down, and it doesn't fully pull out yet, pull back out into the sea. It's there, destroying and washing anew everything. Eventually, the water recedes back into the sea, and from there, you can start anew. From there, shit can change for the better, or you can try to abandon it and leave it and leave for dead. Things that didn't make it is obviously a moment where it's just like, those were the figuratively, those were the people that didn't want to make a fucking change. Those are the people who were so fucking gung ho with being racist and prejudiced and wanting to keep shit going. Those are the people who didn't want to let go of being abusive and racist. What are you going to do when the water recedes back? What are you going to do when the water recedes back into the sea? Because shit's changing. You know what I mean? Shit's changing. The earthquake had already happened. What are you going to do? During this time, the ground was shaking. During the civil rights movement, the ground was fucking shaking. And white people were just really fucking like threatened because they really want to maintain the sense of control. And unfortunately, there were people who, during this time, diplomacy wasn't working, but so much. The most peaceful man that we can think of in history is Dr. Martin Luther King, who won, and here he is with next to his wife, and he's being apprehended. One of the most peaceful and impactful. Wait, is that correct? It looks like correct from side, but anyway, one of the most peaceful civil rights activists is Martin Luther King, and here he is being manhandled to get arrested. Shit's crazy. During this time, people were trying to there were programs instilled in order to counteract with white people's resistance to wanting slavery, basically to wanting the whole Jim Crow laws to really end, the Jim Crow laws and segregation. They didn't want black people to have equal rights or even equity. They wanted to still feel superior. There was that whole power play, that whole power dynamic. They liked instituting fear. They liked seeming, uppity and things of that nature. When white people saw black people as free, were freed, they saw it as a threat to their entire being. It was a very serious ego thing. It was a very serious they considered it somehow a threat to their life, which is insane. Even if black people showed no sign of violence or anything, they were just like, oh my god, like you're just a threat to my life, bitch. But back in the day, there were programs that were instilled in order to try to make black people docile to physical fucking violence. Okay, not just the words, not just the words, not just to setups to where it's just like, okay, hey, look, I want to go ahead and go to this school, and they're trying to make it difficult for me in order to go to the school. Hey, look, I want to take these fucking classes, but then this white fucking department head doesn't want to fucking reply to my fucking emails. Yeah, bitch, I'm talking about you again. If I want to go ahead and try to, work at this fucking job, you're over here trying to take fucking money out of my fucking account, and you're over here literally stalking me, bitch, and talking in the fucking group chats in order to try to either get me fired or try to make me look like really bad. And it's just like you try to put on extra fucking burdens on me and try to make my life miserable for your fucking entertainment. It was worse than that. It was worse than that back here. Because they were doing the most. It was just like, okay, like you can't sit here. You can't sit with us. It was extremely, it's not cliquish, because nowadays they would call that cliquish. Back then you had to boycott in order to be served to be in a white person's restaurant. You had to drink from a black person's water fountain and things of that nature. This shit is just so fucking wild, bro. This shit is just so fucking wild. Um, because in the group chats, there are people from both ends that are in this shit, that are in this abusive shit. And they act like, like they don't remember exactly how it was when their parents were at the mercy of violence. We're at the other end of, being beaten because of the color of their skin, not because of their character, but because of the color of their skin was an offense to white people who have a serious ego issue, who have a serious complex, mental complex, where they just feel superior. And they wanted to do anything by any means necessary in order to still feel that way and to keep that shit going. So these young black people, black people were saying that, we had enough. They were saying that we had enough. The black rights, the black rights movement, they were saying like, hey, look, we had enough. We had enough of this. You guys are beating on us. You guys are messing with us just because of what we look like. We're like unprovoked, unfucking provoked. This within the hundreds of years of after the abolishment of slavery, black people were just seen like, unprovoked, like the worst of it. Lynching in the United States after. Obviously, do you see the clothing that these people are wearing? This is after. This was in the 1900s that this happened. Lynching black people, and they have a crowd, and they were jeering and cheering. Not these two, because these two right here were very These two what else? This white guy, he was very sickened. He was very appalled by that. Although I think he was German or something like that. Like I think he was getting in trouble too. But yeah, like lynching is insane. They did this to Jews too, but it's just like it's crazy though, like how Jews right now really act like Jews are still very fucking aware of the shit that they went through, and yet they had no problem with going ahead and trying to experiment on me and participate in this injustice and this abuse. You see this? This is that same photo, and look at this nigga. This stupid ass dude, smiling and shit. They beat these black people up and then lynched them, and the black people perhaps soiled themselves and it's just like relieve themselves. Like it's just disgusting. Disgusting. I think one of the most famous ones also, besides that one, is the murder of Emmett Till. But what did black people have to do to all that violence? Here's the program I was talking about. All right, so deliberately smoking and like puffing smoke, like blowing smoke in a black person's face, and they're supposed to be not doing anything. Not doing anything. They're practicing for boycotts, basically. That's so fucking crazy. So fucking crazy. Here's a guy getting being beaten on by another black guy, but it's only for just to show him to try to remain docile and complacent and to not retaliate to physical violence. That is a fucking magic trick, bitch. That is a fucking magic trick. Here we are, still going through within those 100 years. What was the 100 years before then? You had the civil rights. You had the civil right, not civil rights. Excuse me. You had the Civil War. Obviously, we already know about war. We know about war back in the day. We know about war now. Where it's just like, you fuck around and find out. Do no harm, but take no shit. It's like those are the terms. Those are the fucking terms. We'll try diplomacy because maybe there was a misunderstanding. But if you are going to this fucking route, bitch, knowing full blown well, bitch, you want to start some shit with me? Oh, best fucking believe. Best fucking believe. Oh, bitch. You put your hands on me, bitch. Oh, it's on site. It's on site. That is the fucking rules. That is the fucking rules. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Again, this is right here is supposed to be a school or a program for black rights activists where you allow people to still put their hands on you consistently, where it's an inch and a mile situation. If they keep seeing this shit, they keep lynching you. If they keep killing you, they're just gonna keep going with it because they feel fucking safe. So you gotta stop making these people feel fucking safe. You gotta really show them exactly the effects of the causes that they keep doing. No, you have to show them it's cause and effects. You did this, and so now I have to do this. I have to. We are both fucking humans. Okay? You took it upon yourself to wake up, put your hands on that fucking app or whatever like that, and try to talk me. You may not have put your fucking hands on me, but you put your fucking hands on my food. You put your hands on the fucking emails or whatever like that in order to try to fucking fuck up with my life, to slow things down, to delay shit. I really do not like the black people, like I said, and for just reasons. Like, you wanted to know why I said that, I hate a lot of black people. This is why I hate a lot of fucking black people, because ain't no fucking way you gonna try to have me be this bitch. Ain't no fucking way. Like, I tried the whole fucking patience and understanding thing with you because I thought really shit was a misunderstanding. But once I realized who the fuck you guys are, oh hell no. I don't see any fucking reason why. I don't see nothing bad about the thing that had clicked. I was like, I see nothing fucking bad in the way how I'm going to move, in the way how I am moving, in the way how I'm acting accordingly. Because you bitches are stuck on this. And honestly, these people right here are just demonstrating. These people are they're doing like an act out kind of situation. Like, they're not really trying to harm this woman. They're trying to test this woman like, they're all students. They're trying to test them so that way when this child goes out into the real world, outside of wherever this little program school is, that person will have to try to practice restraint, physical restraint, when people are intentionally trying to kill her and trying to harm her. And you bitches still think that shit is gonna like run with me. I was literally in a moment where I was thinking that, okay, well, the government is gonna help me and things of that nature. No, the government is on your bitch's timeline. So yes, of course, I'm going to do what it is I'm gonna do. So when you try to intimidate me, ABC News and all that other kind of shit, bitch, I see you. It's just like I'm not here. Like, you're trying to punish me because I'm not this bitch. No. Like, I see you. I see you for what you are. I see you for what you are. Bro. Remember this one? That girl? You just want me to like really just like take it. But I see you bitches. I see you bitches for what you are. And then you guys get so mad and try to act victim, like, oh, the Black Panther, they had guns. Oh my goodness, it's a riot. They're thugs. Oh my God. Like, nah, bitch, you want us to be fucking okay with you lynching us. I see you for what you fucking are. I see you for what you fucking are. And black people were like, no, we're not going anywhere. We're going to show you diplomacy. But then we was like, okay, that's not working. And then that's when the BPP formed in other kind of more minor scale form. And then you guys were really fucking threatened. Like, oh no, how dare they? Yeah, nah, bitch. Yeah, nah, y'all fucking deserve that shit. And because now it's because of stupid ass black people that are thinking that, oh, it's okay for them to try to reinstitute slavery because they're formed by your hands, y'all stupid ass bitches. That this shit is going to continue. Well, I don't mind throwing the actions that my ancestors have done right onto my own people. Because you bitches are acting as inferior as the fucking white people that have truly made it their business to try to fucking oppress me and try to fucking harm me. I'm fucking provoked. So yeah, there's nothing that you guys can try to say in a biblical sense or even in a non-religious kind of way that is going to try to make me docile or complacent for me not getting my justice. Nothing. Nothing, bitch. Come some let it go. Bitch, die. That's not only gaslighting, that's projecting. You guys need to let it go. You guys need to let go your inherent racism. You guys need to let it go your whole power plays and your dynamics. You guys need to let it go on the fact that you are subpar human fucking beings and that you are intimidated by me. And for some other kind of reason, your jealousy is what's going to be your end. Your end. As it should. As it really fucking should. Look at this. Look at this. Unprovoked. Unfucking provoked. This. Because they're black. Look at this. This guy, he's missing an eye. This one, he was beaten. Dumb. That's so fucking not the victims. The white people. And the black people that decided to allow this shit to go on. The dumbass modern day black people that are thinking that gaslighting me is going to be the wave. That trying to minimize my situation to theirs. The stupid ass black people, these niggers, not Negroes, niggers. Because you've acted in alliance with your fucking slave owners. You've acted in compliant and been compliant and trying to be opportunistic. You're trying to. You are inferior. You are inferior. And you're really doing the most to just fucking taint all the shit that black people have worked on and worked toward. It's just like, okay, you got all this. The whole fucking foundation is our pain, our struggle, our pursuits, our achievements, our acknowledgement. You dropped it. You bitches fucking dropped it. Excuse me, you didn't drop it. It was like a fucking column and you pushed it down. You knocked it down. You tied a fucking rope down over it and you try to throw it down. To this fucking day. You stupid ass black people are really fucking on one. You're over here trying to project. You're over here trying to be messy ass bitches. You're over here trying to really trying to make it seem like modern slavery is just something that I should be cool with. You're trying to make it seem like none of you guys are going to be accountable for this shit, and whether or not you guys are, like, justice needs to happen, and justice will happen. If it's not by the government, then I will have it in my own way, because I'm going to try to live exactly how I want to live. And it's just like, you need to have some type of memento for the shit that you guys started, and not just the long standing over like damn near 20 years timeline of you guys really committing to helping white people be like, you know what, all that shit that you guys did to us, it's okay, because we can do worse. In fact, we'll even allow you to join in. That's basically what you guys did. Actually, no, that's entirely what you guys did. I don't need to be humble about the shit. That's entirely what you guys did. But then you got be like, hey, don't say nigger around us. Feel me? Things of that nature. You guys were played. You guys were really played. But it's just like, even though you're still trying to commit into being fucking like oppressive, invasive. You still want the fucking money. So again, that's what. As I said, this shit is just like a fucking joke, and you're over here trying to gaslight me. And again, these kids are acting in a way of the way how the white man would act to this woman. Modern day times, this is what you bitches are doing now to me. This isn't a demonstration in order to prepare me for the real world, for the outside. No, this is what you bitches are doing in order to fucking fuck with me on behalf of white people. On behalf, you guys are over here reinstituting fucking slavery. And not just also for the behalf of white people, but for also the people in Africa. Because remember, that's where it fucking started. Where they sold our people over to fucking US. And so while you're over here trying to also shift the blame, or all total blame on the white person, sweetie, I've been told you about what the fuck was going on, and you said that you didn't care. It's like, we know, we just don't care. So let's quit the whole, you're a victim. Okay? Stop that. Stop that. You are just as guilty. You are just as guilty for this fuck shit as they are. Because you knew that the shit wasn't right. You knew that the shit was illegal. You gaslighted me a bunch of times, and then you try to gaslight the audience. People who were just like thinking that this shit was this shit was okay, but you trying to like gaslight everybody. No, it's not working. It's not working anymore. I don't think it ever worked, but it's just like, I'm speaking up more, and I'm speaking up about it. And I'm really showing exactly who you guys are. You were supposed to be pretending, like not pretending. You were supposed to be like, helping people. And you actually took it upon yourself to become them. Again, these people are just like literally, these are fellow peers, fellow students. Sick, bro. So sick. So that way that young girl can go to school. This is not the same girl as this. At least I don't think so. But it's just like but see, look, like you try. Back in the day, we had these these programs and classes in order to prepare us for this kind of bullshit, and we're just not reacting. And you expected to do the most to me in the background, so that way it can give you enough courage to get offline and do it to my fucking face. But now that you see where I'm stopping it at, I'm like, no, 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 no. When I said that a lot of you guys should definitely be put down, I meant it. I meant it. I still mean it. I do. I do. So it's just like, obviously you guys are still smiling in my face though. But wherever it is that I try to, go, you do try to make trouble for me, fucking provoked. And this is just me. You feel me? It's just me standing by myself. Like you thought, oh, okay, but because like you're just one person and you're by yourself and things of that nature, that I won't fight back. I would just allow you guys to try to subdue me and do what it is that you want to. No, 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 no. Remember, I tried to address one of you black people, and you used two white police cops. Um, was it two trucks in order to to try to stop? Because after finding out exactly the offense that you guys have done to me unprovoked and the attempted murder attempts, I was like, oh yeah, no, 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 we're not doing this, we're not doing this. So I wanted to address the situation head on. Naturally, duh. And you guys trying to have your little power dynamics and your little power plays, you guys wanted to try to obviously disrupt that. And I was just like, all right, cool, cool. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. And I was like, all right, cool. Doesn't mean I was going to stop. Like I said, you did this. You did this. You started this. You did this. All right. But go ahead. Gaslight us some more, coon. So it says you're letting too many things in your environment. And I dispel that one. You're encouraged to take responsibility of your life and choose new ways of thinking that can create. Oh, I'm choosing another method. Definitely, trust me. Change. The reality is that for you to make changes you want, need, and desire. Hold on. So I'll say it.
The reality is that for you to make the changes you want, need, and desire, you need a system, daily discipline, and motivation. As long
Okay, the reality is for you to make the changes you want, need, and desire, you need a system, daily discipline, and motivation. So I have a system, but unfortunately I used to be more organized, a lot more organized. But since you bitches have obviously displayed, and I showed you this, where you've displayed interference in my life, like I can't plan too far ahead. Or I can't even plan like, even days or what my day is going to be like without you bitches wanting to try to fuck that up. So no. Once I learned that, I started just doing more things like, as they come, or just trying to work with it, because you're pretending that you're trying to hold my hand in order to help me with shit. And I'm just like, yo, I don't need you. I never needed you. Okay. It was at the point where you guys needed me. So you don't go ahead and come in my place and disrupt stuff, fuck shit up of like a really nice house, and then be like, oh, here, let me help you. Let me show you exactly like how to clean this up. It's just like, no, bitch. If you weren't here in the fucking first place, I would have never needed your help. Like, I got this. Get the fuck out. That's how it is, basically. That's how you bitches are. So, I mean, the reality is for you to make the changes that you want, need, and desire, you need a system. Done. I told you that. All right, dispel that one. Daily discipline. And again, with the poisons and all the other kind of invasive, intrusive, interference kind of shit, like it's not about discipline. I literally woke up, got to the place on time about where it is that I need to be for this fucking appointment about my car. And this nigger, because I know that he's with the shits, like not with the shits, but like he's a part of this bullshit, decided to like, play me. And it was just like, okay, look, it's going to take you about a few hours here. It's just going to be, 20 minutes here. Nah. The unprofessionalism that I got from this place was the first. And of course, it was a moment where no other representative was available. It was only the blacks. And I'm telling you, it was the black people who had literally started this fucking bullshit, and white people took advantage. It was black people that started the whole bullying and harassment, and white people took advantage of this opportunity to collaborate and turn this into a modern a modern slavery kind of situation. And so because the money is good or whatever is good for them, black people decided to fuck up my life or fuck with me in any way necessary, in any way for them that that they deem necessary or deem fit. So the reality is for you to make changes that you want, need, and desire, you need a system, daily discipline, and motivation. Like the way how I choose to enforce my boundaries is, is up to me to know and for you guys to find out. So in regards to my personal life, you guys are fucking with my system. You guys are fucking with my discipline and you're fucking with my motivations. Again, the fucking email with that fucking lazy ass, no, it's not even lazy. It's the intentional extra work that you guys want me to put in. This is not even black tax. This is like black state tax, where you want me to work like 8 times harder in order to get fucking a reply, an email back, or wanting to go ahead and get, my business taken off, or if I want, to even have a fucking business. This is what you guys do. This is how awful black people are. Excuse me. This is how awful a lot of modern black people are. The abusive ones. And this is just how awful a lot of white people are. And non-black that are my abusers. So this is gaslighting. Yeah, you need a system, daily discipline, and motivation. It's just like, yo, been there, done that, and still doing that. But here we go. Here's the juicy one. Hold on.
As you blame outside influences for any circumstances in your life, you are powerless. It is the government, your abusive background, the interest rates, and the bank's fault. The system that made ultra successful people
Hold on.
that create change. The reality is that for you to make the changes you want, need, and desire, you need a system, daily discipline, and motivation. As long as you blame outside influences for any circumstances in your life, you are powerless. It is the government, your abusive background, the interest rates, and the bank's fault. The system.
Okay. So it's just all right. So look, as long as you blame outside, excuse me, I want to make sure I'm getting it right. As long as you blame outside influence, as long as you blame outside influences for any circumstances in your life, you are powerless. As long as you blame outside influences for any circumstances in your life, you are powerless. So at this point, when people were going like, with this and doing lynchings and just killing people, and black people, black activists just had to sit there during interviews and being like, yes, like we lost another black person. And it is unfair to us because as the black man, all we want to do is just live. But unfortunately, the white man is making it seem like we are a threat to to the economy, but we are a part of the economy. When black people, male and women, have to literally sit there in front of a white TV show host to explain exactly how unjust and how corrupt and scheming and tactful, excuse me, and scheming and not tactful, just scheming, because this is tactical warfare in which white people are trying to silence and oppress white people, black people still. It's wild that you literally have to try to break that down to not only white people but also to black people, because there were still black people back in the day that were complacent. There's like, no boss, no, we don't have any trouble. It was just like not in a moment where it's just like, okay, like their life is at risk, but it was just like, no boss, we don't have any trouble. Like, I definitely agree with you and everything like that. Black people just honestly, they just need to know where the place is. Black people definitely, they just they need to shut up more. Like, honestly, I really, I love me, I love me, my brothers and my sisters. But honestly, the brothers and sisters, they happen to talk too much, and they happen to want equality. But I feel like we have enough equality in this world, because the life of Negro is better than how it was back in the day, and we need to be grateful for
for all the things that we have under the good Lord's the good Lord's will. Yes, yes, sir. Amen. 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 Amen.
So that's literally how white people wanted black people to be back in the day, because, and actually there were some black people that were like that, both men and women, that would try to contest what Malcolm X would say, that would try to contest what Dr. Martin Luther King would say, or what Dr. Martin Luther King would do. It's just, it's crazy, because they would try to put it, they'd be like, why don't you put it in God's hands? Because, God will change things at the very end of the day on their own. And it's just like, bitch, come up off that shit. Come up off that shit. That's not how it works. So I don't want to lose track where it says, as long as you blame outside influences for any circumstances, as long as you blame outside influences for any circumstances in your life, you're powerless. As long as you blame any circumstances outside of your life, you are powerless. And then that's when the Black Panther Party and other affiliations started to bear arms, because it was like, we had enough. We really had a fucking enough. And that's how you guys decided to do your riots. It was just, escalating. And I guess it was just starting to escalate just a little bit too far. And it was like, oh, whoa, wait. Because at that point, it might have been actually also a risk. Like, hold up now, to other things. To your quiet, clandestine treaty or contract that you guys have. It is the government, your abusive background, the interest rates, and the bank's fault, the system for that. So, like I said, this book that is man-made, okay, this was in the fucking Bible, bitch. Okay, this is literally something that somebody has saw from my life, and they wanted to try to throw darts and try to make it seem like, okay, like what can we say in order to try to victim blame this woman? In reality, this does nothing but gaslight me. This does nothing but this is gaslighting. This is victim blaming, and it is also diminishing my circumstance and my situation and comparing it to yours. It's like this is not like I really like lately they're showing this guy who is handicapped, and it was just saying like they were showing two instances where the guy who was handicapped, one was robbing a store and the other one was is an Uber driver, which is actually incredible, but I would definitely be a little bit nervous. I'm so sorry. I would just so he has no arms, but he's driving an Uber car with his feet. And I'm just like, yo, like that is such a hustle. Like I respect that. At the same time, I would still be frightened. And another guy who is robbing a store with just his feet in a wheelchair. And I'm just like, wow. And it was basically a moment where it was just like, there, make no excuses about what it is that you can or can't do, because obviously people from the most extreme to the most normal and practical, are doing things like, they make a fucking way. Now, my whole background is about perseverance. It's about pushing through things. And it should not have to be about you guys making other obstacles in front of me. So what you want me to do is to not blame you, to not acknowledge the shit that's going on. It has, because I don't need to talk about the abusive background. I am talking about the abusive presence that you guys are doing. But you guys don't want me to do that. You don't want me to talk about the government. You don't want me to talk about the abuse. You don't want me to talk about the interest rates. And you don't want me to talk about the bank. So stop blaming outside influences for any circumstance in my life. I'm going to expect the same thing in kind, considering the bullshit that you guys have put yourself through. Because you guys, that's what you guys are doing. That's what you guys do. But in my situation, I am taking. It's like if you have a video game and you see somebody kind of like walking, and they're kind of walking, and so it's almost seems like and then they kind of just kind of walk sideways, or it's still like that. It's just like eventually the wall is still going to be there. There's not going to be like any kind of open space. It wants you to fucking turn around, but you don't want us to acknowledge that the wall is fucking there. You don't want us to acknowledge. You want us to try to find, okay, well, maybe we can go up. No, the way how the game is rigged is just that it wants us to turn around. Like, it definitely wants us to try to like wait. It wants to manipulate us. Like, I see what the game is, and this man-made story that you have, this book that you wrote, that should be applied for other people. This should not be applied to me, because it is the government, and it is the abuse that I'm receiving, and it is the corporations and entities that are participating in this shit that should really be put under the spotlight. It is their fault. It is also Black people's fault. It is non-Black people's fault. So, like I said, it is on you. It is your fault. And you guys thought that you could make a book to try to say, oh, all right, so if we make a book that says it's not our fault, then we'll be safe. Bitch, I can make a same book, literally. I can write it and then ship it off somewhere, and then have them, with the pristine pages and a nice little cover, and say it is your fault, which it would be your fault, because it is your fault. There's no difference. That's what I said. Like, children are fucking smart, because I don't know who the fuck did you think that this shit was going to be actually believable towards. I guess there's lazy thinkers. Like I said, you guys are retards. You guys are not thinking. You guys don't think. That's why you keep making fuck up decisions and mistakes and ideas, and you just like throw it at each other. I and others have the common sense to know that because you made like some cards and you made a book that says that supposedly, stop looking at the government to blame and stop looking at the abusers to blame. That it's not their fault. There is literally a lot of our money going overseas right now to fight a war that's not ours. Whose fault is that? There are people that are in the political seats that have really just, fucked up this nation. Whose fault is that? If that is the case, if not blaming outside influences for the circumstances in our life, where people are taking accountability, that's what it's basically saying. It's like, take accountability and be responsible. And that's rich, coming from the people who refuse to every single fucking day for being abusive and for fucking up this the Black race history. They still every single fucking day choose stupidity, choose to act like a fucking coon for whites and non-blacks. And what is the excuse? Like, you would try to point the finger at another race, but right here, plain as day, you said stop blaming outside influences, right? So you should be taking full accountability for that shit. And yeah, yesterday I was also talking about, the only person I remember really taking any responsibility for anything was like Bill Clinton. And it was like at the very last minute, thought was because he had like kind of like no choice, but it was just like, yeah, but Bill Clinton nonetheless. Not even like no choice. It was just like he had a choice, but it was just like he took it. Yeah. So what will the government stop blaming for their bankruptcy, their debt? As you watch me from the surveillance cameras or right here, who are you guys blaming for accepting money and still being dependent on getting rewards from whomever? Who are you guys blaming? Stop blaming the government. Stop blaming the white people. Take that blame for yourself. That's what you said. It works the same way. Stop blaming other people and blame yourself for all the shit that you've done, for being dependent on me, for taking my ideas, for trying to upend my own life because I'm just existing, I'm being me. Take responsibility. Take the blame. Take the blame. I am accountable for being amazing and for literally just doing what it is that I need to do in order to survive. That doesn't, hurt and harm people who don't hurt and harm me, unless they're with that movement. So yeah. Take the blame. Like, okay, well, see, I have to be bad. Like, I'm only doing this because, I need the money. No, take the blame. You could have worked 2 jobs. You could have, there's some, whatever excuse it is. I'm just using, your words because you're trying to use it against me. I'm just really using your advice. Take the blame. You didn't have to be a tarot reader to go ahead to watch my life, to stalk me in order to, make funds for you and your babies. In fact, who told you to have that baby? Who told you to have that baby? You decided to do that. Take the blame. Take the blame. Why don't you go ahead and try to sell your body or something like that? Like, you don't have to. There were other things that you could have done that wasn't as abusive, harmful, or illegal. But you chose to do that, knowing goddamn well a lot of you have daughters, knowing goddamn well or nieces, knowing goddamn well you yourself are a woman. But you are participating in an action that harms, gaslights, mentally, financially, economically, socially, abuses a woman, and you decided to participate in this shit, further making other men, perverted men, power dynamic men, get their rocks off as you're over here still like abusing me and stalking me. Take the blame. That's you. Don't blame, it's a way for me to, make money. There's other ways for you to make money. It's the only way how it was like an easy way for me to, work on my own. You could use other topics then. You could use other topics. You didn't have to use my life. You didn't have to watch me. In fact, you still don't have to stalk me. Take the blame. Take the fucking blame. It's your fault. It is your fault. It is your fault. Now me, what it is that I'm gonna do? I told you what I'm gonna do. And I still see you guys trying to, fuck with that. And I still see you guys being in your fucking feelings. Heavy. Take the blame. Take the fucking blame.
Something that made ultra successful people use is, they read books every day, listen to audios, go to as many seminars as they can, practice recognizing others' achievements, and form relationships with like-minded people.
Okay. So it says the ultra successful people, they read books every day, listen to audios, go to as many seminars as they can, practice recognizing others' achievements, and form relationships with like-minded people. All right, so let's go back to this. It is the government, your abusive. It's not the government, your abusive background, the interest rates, and the bank's fault. The ultra successful people listen to audios, go to seminars, practice recognizing others' achievements, and form relationships with like-minded people. You're repeating. It's crazy on how you are trying to not only victim blame me and gaslight me in the prior 2 sentences, but subsequently, you're over here acknowledging the shit that I've done already and I was successful on, that you guys fucked up. Like I said, it's like somebody coming into somebody's house, fucking it up, and then being like, okay, like here, hey, look, let me help you fix it up. Like, because I wrote down exactly what this person was saying. I had dictated it. I didn't write this down. But it's right here. I took a screenshot of me going to events. Yeah. The ultra successful people read books every day, which I did back in the day, listen to audios, go to as many seminars as they can, practice recognizing others' achievements, and form relationships with like-minded people. Here I am, right here. Different people associating, working, 2 jobs, and traveling. This was right here. This was in Philly, and I was living in New York City at the time. Working and networking with different people, not only just like-minded people, but people that were like recognizing people's achievements. Hold on, let me just come back to the show. Read books every day. Bam, did that. Listen to audios, did that. Go to as many seminars and networking opportunities as you can. Not only did I do that, but there were people who had like less views, less followers than me, and I was over here inviting them into the fucking programs that I was going to, or the networking opportunities that I was going to. I had like tickets and things of that nature. That were like I had bought some tickets, and I was just like, instead of actually me just getting the reimbursement for it, let me give somebody else a ticket and an opportunity in order to like fucking go and to fucking enjoy the moment. Get up socially. And these people, they were they were literally the same people that had turned against me. It's so wild. I'm fucking provoked. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah. Go to as many seminars as you can as they practice recognizing others' achievements and relationships with like-minded people. This wasn't a paid moment that I was doing right here. Somebody had like somebody was doing some type of like a program or something like that, and I wanted to volunteer because I was just like, hey, look, actually this can actually be a little bit beneficial to me, because I wanted to go ahead and practice like my photography. But trust, I didn't go all the way from fucking Brooklyn to Philadelphia in order to just practice my fucking photography. I could have done that in the city. What I wanted to do is that I wanted to be there as a supportive person, because I was like, yo, I really believe in what this person does, and I'm just like, yo, like, for what it's worth, even if there's not a lot of people following you, like, I see your potential. And even if nothing comes up from this, even if you happen to drop it the next day, I'm just like, yo, like, I like what you're doing. If you want to keep at it, hey, look, I'm here. Yo, it's just wild. Hold on, sorry. I have a fluffy in my eye. That was the timeline that I was on fucking girl. Okay, Fluffy. I know you're somewhere. I know you're. I was just like, okay. So anyway, so yeah. Look at this. Me networking. This right here is networking. More stuff. Networking. There you go. Get the fuck out of here. Networking. Like, you guys do nothing but just fucking lie. And in the midst of this moment, you guys were watching me. When I was living in fucking New York City, you guys were still following me. So it didn't matter where I fucking moved to, what kind of environment I moved to, you guys were still on my fucking tits, on my fucking dick. Like, yo, what the fuck? It was insane. And fucking insane. So yeah, that's gaslighting. You guys are gaslighting. It's insane. You guys are just so fucking weak. Yeah. And so yeah, that's basically the gist of it. You don't want to acknowledge the mess that you made and are still making. You guys are trying to run away from accountability. You guys are doing the most in order to try to victimize yourself after you've done the most. And I'm not having it. I'm really not having it. And that was it. That was literally like the last part that she had pretty much said. It was just like, she's like, so yeah, so like y'all get manipulated and pulled into, to shit that has nothing to do with you. And I'm like, yes, I know. I'm like, and I've turned these people down and I've rejected them. But here you guys go. And it's like, if it ain't helping you progress or pushing you forward in a positive way, stay away from it. you guys are coming to me. You guys have literally made it your business to come to me. So, yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was really enriching. And yeah. All right, I'm going to go. For anyone who's definitely been advocating for my freedom and for my justice to manifest, I really appreciate it. And until then, I'm Shalise Map, and go fuck yourself to the people who have definitely been abusers and continue to wanting to abuse me. The other people who, again, have been advocating for my justice and have been advocating for the abusers to be held accountable. And I mean, not like seriously held accountable, like to the point where the government actually fucking does something. I appreciate you and I thank you. I think that we need to turn it up to, instead of just like bullying them, we definitely need to turn up the heat. And by doing so, I think most of it is contacting like the government and also kind of exposing exactly like specifically like all the clues and the evidence that they were like trying to delete and things of that nature. I need to have that. I need to have that. We need to stop breadcrumbing the information, and we need to stop just bullying these people in order for them to feel bad. They took it upon themselves where they felt okay with doing this, so we need to just turn up the heat. And I mean, we need to turn up the heat really bad to the point where it's just like, okay, shit, fuck, what do we do? Because the bullying and whatnot like that's not working. That's obviously not working. It needs to be the point where they feel it. It needs to be a point to where it's going to leave a mark, and I'm going to do my part. And all I can say is just that, kind of speaking up for me, it definitely helps. I appreciate it, but no, not but, like, no, I appreciate it. And how I continue to go forth with getting my own justice is just like stopping the trolls in their way and making these people really feel it. All right, I'm gonna go.